and welcome to Wildly Curious, where the questions are unhinged, the science is real, and honestly, we're just getting started. I'm Laura.
And I'm Katie. And...
Ever wonder why a bat might glow? Or how frogs made it to space long ago? Dinosaurs trained for delivery runs. We're asking the questions, the weird ones. Wildly curious, where science gets strange and kinda hilarious. For nature's wonders to ancient funk, it's facts and fun rolled into one big chunk. Wildly curious, we're just wonderful. Come join the fuss.
We didn't forget about you. We didn't ghost you. Life, as always, just gets in the way. So we are now taking a season break, letting Laura and I regroup, and then we'll be bringing more episodes back to you. So this is going to be the season breaks like we normally do. And we're going to do 4 quick episodes in between here. That way Laura and I can prep for writing scripts for the new season. And then we'll be back. So it is just going to be me today. And we're going to be doing this mini series on the bird name game. Okay. Sounds way more fun than what I'm about to describe to you. If you guys follow me on Instagram or anything at Wildly Katy, you will see it's all about birds and birding and stuff. Each mini episode is going to be talking about 2 birds that Laura and I each think are at least related for some reason. All right. And then we're going to give you a little natural history and then why they're named what they're named. Because some of this is pretty interesting, right? I mean, you call a robin, a cardinal, but you don't really know why. So we're going to kind of dive into all that. So today's the first episode. Again, these are going to be quick mini episodes. So brace yourselves, hold on to your boots, hold on to your overalls, whatever you're wearing right now. And the first episode is going to be Albatross and Gulls. One bird I love, one bird I hate. One bird I have a tattoo of, one bird I don't. I'll let you guess which one I have a tattoo of. Let's start with one of the more famous seabirds on Earth, the albatross. Albatrosses are giants of the open ocean. These are remarkably large birds. There's about 15 different species, and some of them have wingspans that can stretch more than 11 feet across, which is insane. Like, that's a huge freaking bird. So these birds spend most of their lives far out at sea, gliding over waves for hours, sometimes days, without even flapping their wings. They ride ocean winds so efficiently that scientists have tracked albatross traveling thousands of miles on a single trip, which is insane. I don't even have the patience for that in a plane, and I'm not really doing any work for that. They're also famously loyal partners. Many albatross bond for life, meeting up at the same remote nesting islands year after year. But the word albatross has a surprisingly tangled history. So the name made its way into English through Portuguese sailors who used the word alcatraz for large seabirds, especially pelicans. So this one blew my mind because at first I was like, Alcatraz, like the jail? And then a whiplash of, wait, pelicans? And I don't know. Again, I said this in an interview with somebody recently that I think a lot of people look at birds like dogs, right? There's your dogs, and dogs are dogs. Even though there's different breeds, dogs are still dogs. Birds are very much so not that way, right? Birds from one species to another are extremely, extremely different. So when I look at an albatross versus a pelican, I mean, yeah, a big bird, I don't know. Pelicans are just so much chunkier. I don't know. The beak is all off. But I mean, I could see if you're just like, what the heck is that big flying bird? Okay, we'll give it to him. So the word itself came from Arabic algataz, which means the diver. So that makes sense for both pelicans and albatross, but not the confusing look. Anyway, before long, the name bounced around several languages and spellings: Alcatraza, Albatross, Albatross with an I, and eventually settled on the word we know today, albatross. At some point along the way, the spelling may have also been influenced by the Latin word albus, meaning white, since many albatrosses are pale compared to other seabirds like the frigate birds. The word bounced around, like the word itself, albatross, bounced across Arabic, Portuguese, Spanish, and English, changed its spelling several times, and even switched which bird it's referring to, before finally landing on the giant ocean wanderers we call albatross today, which honestly does feel appropriate for a bird that spends its entire life traveling the open seas. The second bird we're going to talk about today real quick is the gulls. Okay, I'll just tell you the answer. This is not the bird I have tattooed on me, nor would I ever get this freaking bird tattooed on me. I have an albatross on my back. Anyway, there are around 50 species of dear God. There are about 50 species of gulls, sweet mother of pearl. And if you've ever spent time near the ocean, or let's be real, like the parking lot near your house, anywhere in the US almost, you've probably encountered one. Gulls are definitely opportunistic. They'll eat fish, insects, crabs, and yes, you've heard Laura and I speak before that they'll freaking take your french fries. If you walk 3 miles on the beach to get them and you're not paying attention, whoop, they're gone because they're very opportunistic. But their name is much simpler than the albatross. The word gull likely comes from very old Celtic and Norse roots, which, let's be real, that makes this bird sound way cooler than they actually are. But it seems to be directly tied to the sound that these birds are actually making. That loud, wailing, slightly complaining cry you hear echoing over beaches and harbors. In Old English, gulls were sometimes called mows, a word derived from Old Norse term that mimic their mewing calls. Over time, versions of the name appeared across several languages, all echoing the same sound. Words like gullin, guilin, and gwellin. Basically, people were listening to these birds cry overhead saying, yep, that noise, that's the name. The word gull shows up written in English as early as the 1400s, even appearing in an old cookbook, which somewhat anonymously mentions that even the fishy gull was eaten. I mean, I hate gulls, but I wouldn't eat it. I don't know. Today, the name is stuck, and it still carries the echo of the gull's unmistakable voice. So that was today's quick round of the bird name game. It gave us two, very different naming stories. One bird, the albatross, picked up its name that wandered through multiple languages and even changed which bird it was referring to along the way, which makes sense from all the different languages, all the way the bird traveled, long name lineage, long way to travel. And the other, the gull, got its name, basically came straight from the sound it makes while shouting over the wind's waves and stealing your french fries. Which goes to show that birds' names don't just tell us about the birds themselves, they tell us about the people, the languages, and sometimes the very first impressions that those birds make on anybody when they're overheard. All right, so that wraps up the first episode of the bird name game. Make sure you guys follow us on YouTube especially, and subscribe so that way you can see the updates whenever we are actually uploading episodes. And then again, we're going to do 4 of these episodes, and then we're going to hit the new season. So talk to you guys. Well, actually, I won't talk to you guys next week. Laura will talk to you guys next week.
Ever wonder why a bat might glow, or how frogs made it to space long ago? Dinosaurs trained for delivery runs. We're asking the questions, the weird ones. Why